This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, some of those involved with the planned Southland Charity Hospital take part in the site's repurposing. Dunedinites have the chance later this month to see the lanterns intended for this year's Midwinter Carnival. And weightlifting and powerlifting are combined into a single event in Queenstown. Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi o te ahiahi nei, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Some of those involved in the planned Southland Charity Hospital got to swing a sledgehammer to contribute to the building's repurposing. The hospital will provide free services to people in Otago and Southland who are unable to access care through the public or private health systems.
Campaigner Melissa Vining gets to do some of the first repurposing of a former Invercargill pub into a new charity hospital. Thanks to fundraising by many people and organisations across the community, the hospital might only be a year away.
It's just been incredible to see everyone from farmers to city people to personal donations, children in schools, and obviously our successful Buy a Brick campaign has just made this happen so quickly.
Melissa and her husband Blair Vining fought for better cancer care after Blair became sick. He died from the disease last year, and a campaign for the new charity hospital has been his legacy.
I think he would just be proud of our community. He'd just be proud of all the efforts of everybody who has, whether they've bought a brick or they've had a dog trial fundraiser or the Bales for Blair campaign. He'd just be so proud of everyone working together to get on with helping people.
The old Clifton Club Inn was gifted by the Invercargill Licensing Trust and is ideal for converting into a charity hospital.
It was such had great bones to start with, and we can repurpose the building rather than completely demolish and restart. The scale of the site allows the development to future-proofs if there is ever any further need for an additional theatre.
Fundraising is almost halfway towards the overall price tag of about $5.5 million to create a fully functioning hospital, with the start of renovations seen as a very positive step.
And I don't think there was ever any doubt that this day would come, but I think now it's here. It's really exciting, particularly just before Christmas. I think it's a real feel-good factor for everybody that, everybody's hard work, particularly all of the volunteers that took part in Pack the Park. It was such a phenomenal event that was just, such an incredible amount of work. So actually to get to the point where we've kind of, reached our goal and can now start to make holes in the wall is really exciting. It's just amazing.
The new hospital is to provide free services to those unable to access care through public or private health systems. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Offers to buy a group of derelict buildings along Dunedin's Princes Street have not been high enough for the sale to go ahead. In 2008, Christchurch-based Dirksvager proposed demolishing the historic buildings and replacing them with a 5-storey apartment block. In 2014, they won approval to demolish the dilapidated buildings as long as they reinstated some of the historic facades. 2 months ago, the properties were put on the market after one of the 3 members in the ownership group had died. But Dirksvager has now decided to take them off the market. However, they do suggest negotiations are still ongoing. People will get a chance later in the month to see the lanterns intended for this year's Midwinter Carnival. The exhibition of lanterns, smoke machines and lighting effects is designed to provide a magical experience for the whole family to enjoy.
Just like in previous years, smoke machines, special effects and soundtracks will be cranking up to accompany a lavish static display of large and small lanterns in the weekend before Christmas.
What we're doing is we're creating an experience to celebrate the seasons. The summer solstice, but also the lead up to Christmas.
This year the Summer Lights display is being set up in the former Living and Party store in Princes Street. The theme of this year's display is Magical Garden, featuring the lanterns that were intended for this year's Midwinter Carnival, which was cancelled due to COVID-19.
The giant lanterns are the highlight, really, and they're artworks, and they're quite beautiful. And what we do is we group different ones together to create these little scenes, and they're very picturesque, and I think people will enjoy them.
Entry is free for under fives, $5 for children over 5 and $10 for adults, with funds raised going towards the cost of storing the lanterns.
People can book from our website, which is midwintercarnival.co.nz, but they can just turn up, and but if they want to make sure that they're all organised, they can do that in advance.
The summer lights display will be open for afternoon and evening slots for 4 days over the weekend before Christmas. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A former long-serving police officer has died after a head injury during a hunting trip on Stewart Island. 51-year-old Greg Sutherland of Timaru was flown to Dunedin Hospital following an incident while hunting with friends 3 weeks ago. He had been a police officer for nearly 30 years, spending time in South Auckland, Christchurch, Twizel and Tekapo. He was then stationed in Timaru for 12 years, mostly as a frontline sergeant. He left the police 2 years ago for a new career as a funeral director at a Timaru funeral home. Weightlifting and powerlifting have been combined into a single event in a Queenstown competition. Organisers say the competition, called a Super Total, is the first of its kind.
More than 20 people from Otago, Southland and Canterbury took part in a competition in Queenstown that was the first of its kind in the country. Called a Super Total, the event was organised by Anna Claire Thompson and is a combination of 2 strength sports.
A Super Total is 2 strength sports, weightlifting and powerlifting. So weightlifting's the snatch and the clean and jerk, and powerlifting is the back squat, bench press and deadlift. So we've got 5 lifts in one day for a Super Total.
Among those competing was Association President Callum Helms, who got into competitive weightlifting and powerlifting while at university.
So I thought I'd have a go at it, and I walked into the gym and I thought, oh, this is amazing, this is exactly where I want to be. And that's how I got into both strength sports, weightlifting and powerlifting.
Helms says the competition helps bring the communities of both strength sports together.
Anna has done such a great job of bringing our 2 sports together, because sometimes it can feel like there's a bit of a divide between strength sports, but having both weightlifting and powerlifting on the same day, it's been great.
Thompson says the success of this year's competition means she's already hoping for a bigger event next year.
It is a format that's been becoming popular in Europe and the States, and so we're keen to. We've jumped in, got New Zealand's first one. I think it'll be bigger and bigger.
In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Environment Southland hear results of a lengthy project, and Musical Theatre Dunedin hopes to strike a chord with people caught up in a ticket company's collapse. Ka kite a konei.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
For over 100 years, Presbyterian Support has been helping people in your region through all conditions, ages and stages of life. Our Enliven and Family Work services are always there when you need them. People in your community are facing unprecedented challenges and they need your help. By making a donation to your local Presbyterian Support in South Canterbury, Otago or Southland, you'll be helping us to help people where you live. Together we can make a difference. We are people helping people.
Hoki mai anō. Key people involved with a lengthy collaboration between iwi and council are wanting to safeguard the environment for generations to come. Environment Southland Chairman Nicol Horrell agrees water is the lifeblood of every nation.
Weaving the way for protecting Te Wai. A regional forum has been held recently at Invercargill, with stakeholders outlining a way for a collaborative approach to the kaitiaki or guardianship of Southland water.
This is quite exciting because we do a lot of science, it's monitoring. And but if we can get some science that actually drives change, that's because people, I've got an ecology problem. Where's that coming from? Or there's a nitrate thing in our little patch. Then people get quite motivated about what can we do if that's our issue.
Yeah. The draft Murihiku Southland Freshwater Objectives report describes the importance of work being done to protect Southland's land and water. People, Water and Land Program Manager Bonnie Lawrence says the report outlines the values and objectives of Te Mana o Te Tangata, Te Wai, Te Whenua.
And we've got the iwi work stream looking at values, and then the bottom of that is bringing that together into a package for Southland of environmental outcomes or freshwater objectives for Southland. So it's just a way of weaving together those key reports, those 9 really critical reports that have been prepared over the last 2 years, with the one at the bottom being how that's come together as a package.
Stuart Bull of Oraka Aparima Runaka says showing scientific evidence to stakeholders is helping the collaborative group to get its message across.
There's having the science too, because I don't know how many times I've heard it said, show us the science and we'll do what needs to be done. And really, so it is, it's about having that science is there. If you really want it, it's there, and come and have a look. And this is the state of the environment, really.
The work is being done to meet the requirements of the government's national policy statement for fresh water management. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Christmas has come early for hundreds of ticket holders left out of pocket by failed company Ticket Rocket. Customers who bought tickets for postponed Les Miserables performances can now present their old tickets and receive new ones for next year's show.
Denise Henderson's tickets to the postponed Les Miserables show aren't worthless after all, with Musical Theatre Dunedin now set to replace old tickets with new ones for a rescheduled show next May. However, the money originally paid for the tickets won't reach the theatre company, with the Regent Theatre's former exclusive ticket supplier now having gone bust.
Absolutely no guises in the fact that they have gone to liquidation and essentially taken all of the money and the money that we would have received from Ticket Rocket as well.
I want to be really clear about that, because some people feel that when they booked for Les Mis that MTD have taken their money. It's not. It's all caught up in the Ticket Rocket receivership.
More than 800 ticket holders had not received refunds, with the company behind Ticket Rocket now in liquidation with debts of more than $8 million.
I was just so sad to be approached by so many people, especially the elderly, who had come in and booked their tickets for Les Mis and other shows, and couldn't understand the process of trying to get things back.
Tickets are about $80 each, with Musical Theatre Dunedin President Dean Driver reluctant to say how much the production will be out of pocket.
We've come up with this idea to allow the ticket buying public, essentially our patrons, the idea of a ticket swap for their tickets. The cost, we won't talk about the cost, but we see it as a necessary thing to do for our loyal customer base.
Patrons are able to bring their old tickets to the Regent Theatre to be exchanged for seats in one of the 2 shows next May. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, for the adventurous, a pair of southern walking tracks reopen and we have a look at the midweek's weather. Koko Akinei.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Do PVC windows and doors. PVC is 90% more efficient than standard aluminium and 60% more efficient than thermally broken aluminium. It's multi-chambered, you don't get any condensation through the frame. And if you put decent glass in, you get a big difference to aluminium.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here until January the 10th. So I better dash. See you later.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Lord, 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 hear it more. Don't you hear Jerusalem more? Don't you hear Jerusalem more? Bring the man he used to be back. My armor already cut to the bone. Don't you dare take that country at me.
Namaino, welcome back. All three of Fiordland's Great Walks are now fully open for the first time since a storm in February extensively damaged two of them. The Milford track reopened last week after repairs to the damage caused by February's storm. The Rootburn track also became fully operational yesterday, allowing trampers to walk its entire length for the first time since February. Lake Howden Hut, however, which was hit by a landslip in February, was so badly damaged it was later demolished. Bookings for the tracks are strong, with the holiday period almost at full capacity. The third walk, the Kepler, which was not damaged by the storm, hosted the annual Kepler Challenge run last weekend. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Some of those involved with the planned Southland Charity Hospital got to hit out at the site they're repurposing. Dunedinites have the chance later this month to see the lanterns intended for this year's Midwinter Carnival. And weightlifting and powerlifting are combined into a single event in Queenstown. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we have editor Barry Stewart with us this evening. Kia ora, Barry.
Hello, Simon. The big news today, of course, we have comprehensive coverage of the Royal Commission's inquiry into the mosque shootings, including the report's insight into the shooter's time in Dunedin. So that and much more in that report we'll have in the paper tomorrow. So interesting, if not horrific, reading in that. Dunedin City Council, a separate bin for food scraps and possibly another for green waste could feature in the Dunedin City Council's next curbside rubbish and recycling scheme. Councillors, we understand, favour a 4-bin setup, rubbish, recycling, glass and food scraps, with an optional green waste bin. So we'll just have to find out where we store those bins at the side of the house. So might have to build a new deck to house the bins. However, that's some positive response there. There was a big diesel spill in Green Island today. We were at the scene of that. Yep. And of course, University of Otago graduation is tomorrow, a double graduation, so we have a full list of those in the paper tomorrow. And in Fresh, our food section, we celebrate wonderful food professionals. Rebecca Fox talks to Queenstown chef Corey Hume about cooking for his partner and friends.
Righto. Thanks, Barry. Thank you very much. Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, spot the road cone on Dunedin's railway station. Looking at the situation, a few more days of westerly airflow ahead. Cloud for most, though some showers for the main centres in the south. Colder southwesterly winds are on the way for the weekend. In the northwest, 19 and that promised cloud for both Westport and Greymouth. Cloudy at the top two, though a little warmer, 21 for Nelson. Blenheim has a warm 25. And the cloud mostly stretches out east, 19 for Kaikoura, 22 for Christchurch. The sun should peek through in Ashburton on 23 degrees. Some cloud for all the southern towns too, fresh westerlies and 17 for Lumsden and Gore. The wind stronger for Balclutha and the Catlins, though both one warmer on 18 degrees. In central, fresh westerlies and showers at Tiano on 16 degrees. Moderate winds, but otherwise fine for the others here, 21 degrees in Wanaka and Queenstown, 23 for Alexandra. And the westerlies reach further north, otherwise fine for Omarama and Twizel on 21 and 22 degrees. Cloud on the coast accompanying variable winds in Oamaru on 22 and moderate northerlies in Timaru on 24 degrees. In Dunedin, early evening showers clear with an overnight low of 11. It's fine with sun and cloud tomorrow. Early moderate northerlies tend westerly later on, a high of 20 and a low of 10 degrees. And it's similar on Thursday. Moderate northeasterlies change to westerlies later on. That familiar sun and cloud does give way to rain later in the day though. A high of 19 and a low of 10. And in Invercargill, you have some cloud tonight and an overnight low of 10 degrees. Cloud and showers develop tomorrow afternoon as westerly winds become strong and gusty, a high of 16 and a low of 10. That continues Thursday with similar temperatures, a high of 15 and a low of 10 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.